been I've been targeted for quite a long time. But the moment that it started, you know, to the next level is when I met a targeted individual and we started getting close. And then this is when I realized I've started getting targeted, with this microwave radiation, and this is when I
Yep.
realized it's big, it's massive, and also where I live in my building complained about something that was not right because I spoke for injustice, and I started getting people stalking me inside the building and outside the building. When I come out, people will be photographing me, following me. Even the staff of the building are doing it. This is one day I
Yeah.
decided to ask one of the security guard. I asked him, "Why are you doing this? What's going on?" And he said, "I'm following orders. I'm following orders from my boss." This is when I realized it's bigger than we think, and it's cruel, and it's
Welcome to the Unveiling Shadows podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Mosby. Join me as I dive into powerful stories of resilience and strength. In each episode, I sit down with guests who have faced similar journeys of coercive control, financial manipulation, and personal invasion. Together, we uncover the shadows, share our experiences, and inspire others to reclaim their lives. Tune in, listen, and be a part of the community that stands tall against the forces that seek to control us. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Unveiling Shadows. I'm your host, Kimberly Mosby, and I'm so glad you're here today. Today, I'm joined by Gesmay, a retired expatriate who spent nearly 30 years abroad before returning to the UK. Once proud to serve her country, Gesmay's life took a dark turn after speaking out against injustice. She now believes they were placed in a covert and dangerous program without consent. In recent years, the targeting has intensified, ranging from organized stalking to RF and laser assaults. Gesmay describes this as a silent death sentence, but instead of staying silent, she's chosen to speak up. Gesmay, I'm honored to welcome you to the podcast. Can you briefly introduce yourself?
Thank you for welcoming me on your program. And yes, my name is Gesmay, and I am a retired life coach mentor. Even I've done so many other things in my life, and retired now 15 years. As I said in my thing, I did serve the country, which is the United Kingdom, to my best ability overseas in this country, like a patriot. And now I find myself on this dangerous, illegal, genocidal program. And I never thought in million years that I will be in this situation. It's really, really awful. And sometimes I'm lost for words to how we arrived there. And this is a question I keep asking myself all the time. How did we arrive there? And I never find the answer.
Yep, I agree with you. It's hard to wrap your head around it once you realize what's going on. And then everybody asks the question, why?
Yeah.
And I feel like we have a higher spiritual connection. I really believe that that is why.
Yeah. Do you anytime at some point that you feel as if you've been chosen? That's the way I feel. It's like because
Yeah.
this is not normal. This is unnatural, and so many people has lost their lives until today. We don't know. I'm talking about United Kingdom. How many people has been taken? How many people has lost their life? Maybe some people don't even know what's happened. The family will never know. And somebody somehow we have to put an end to this. It cannot carry on. Otherwise, it's like there's no future for especially the next generation.
I'm hopeful. I'm always optimistic because I feel any weapons used against us shall not prosper. And so I always have to maintain that optimism to help other people.
Yes.
So even by you being here today, you're educating people on your experience and how evil the program
It
is,
is.
which is basically,
It
yeah,
is even. That's the
yeah.
reason I feel as if I've been chosen somehow, to create a better world a better future for the next generation. We need to be happy and we need to be loved, because I even believe this program is full of hatred. You know, when you get other people to harass, abuse, terrorize, and stop all these horrible things that they do, it is hatred. I can see in every day, you know, as soon as you step outside, it's just like it goes beyond your imagination to see how people can be so cruel, can be so nasty, and follow orders to cause harm and distress and even death to other human beings that you don't even know has done nothing to you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, it's wrong on so many levels, but I put out the Clone Act affidavit on my Radical Truth Summit. I'll send you a copy. I went down to record it with the county recorder's office yesterday and they denied me my civil rights. So, but I think it's very imperative that people start filing it. James Martinez spoke about it. I don't know if you know who he is, but I can send you
Yes,
that
Prince.
because the cognitive privacy, we need to all stand up and be unified in order to get to the next phase of past this so that we can remain human.
Yes, yeah, we have to be, we have to seek, we have to strive for these better times to go. I feel good. I feel good inside to know we are doing something collaboratively. We are doing something from all over the world. Look at me. I never thought I will meet you. And we are talking today and we are sharing experience and we are seeking for a better future. I think is really powerful.
I agree. I agree. So can you tell me when there was a specific moment that you had that aha moment where you're like, they're targeting me electronically?
Can you repeat the question?
Or gang stalking you. I said, was there a specific moment where you understood that you were entered into a program,
Yeah,
a targeting program?
yeah. Basically,
Can you
I
share?
personally believe that I've been targeted for quite a long time, but I never knew, because when I used to go out, you know, you said I wear lovely colors, and people come and talk to me, and some people say, "Can I took your photo?" Very naive, you know. I thought like they were. I didn't think anything about. You know, I oblige. You know, take picture of people, and I can look back now and recall the time when I've been targeted, I've been followed, and things like that. The moment that it started, you know, to the next level is when I met a targeted individual and we started getting close. And then this is when I realized I've been targeted with microwave radiation. I've started getting targeted, you know, with the microwave radiation. And this is when I
Yep.
realized it's big, it's massive. And it, and then I started meeting other people. And then and I started going on social media. Obviously, I'm very bad at social media and I'm not very good with technology, is not my thing. But I've been kind of brought into that and started getting more informations, doing more research. And then from this friend I've learned more about what is the big picture, what is going on, what is happening. And obviously I did have a lot of injuries. You know, my skin was one of the best skin in the world. Now, if you see it, it's all burnt. You could see my forehead, my face, you know, and even here in the last 2 days. And, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, this is when I realized. And also where I live in my building, complained about something that was not right because I spoke for injustice. And this is when I realized that it's more than that, it's bigger than. And I started getting people stalking inside the building and outside the building. When I come out, people will be photographing me, following me. Even the staff of the building are doing it. This is one day I decided to ask one of the security guard. I asked him, why are you doing this? What's going on? And he said, I'm following orders and my boss, I'm following orders from my boss. This is when I realized it's big than we think and it's cruel and it's
Absolutely. Yeah, when they're in on it and they admit to it, and it's like, I wonder, why? Because if you or I were asked to do something like this to another person, we would say
yeah,
no. And I always come back to that. So I feel like these people are
very,
cowards and
yeah,
and they're just followers.
yeah,
Yeah.
very, very coward. Yeah, I used to get followed inside my building. People will be following me if I go to see somebody. As soon as I open the door, somebody will be lurking or will be like playing hide and seek, or put their head in and out. And then this is when I realize it's not a joke. It's real, it's cruel, it's evil, and it's full, and there's lots of hatred.
Yep, I do know. I have been there so many times, and they've stopped harassing me for the most part, but I hope that day comes for you when they realize that they can't control you and that you will continue to speak the truth no matter what their orders
Yes,
are, because you don't have those marching orders. You have the marching orders of the spirit, universal intelligence that's telling you, I'm speaking up.
yes.
And so I'm grateful for
Yeah.
you.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of, I never, to be honest with you, I'm not one of these kind of people that goes on social media talking, but I feel I have to, and I feel this is my choice to do it because it cannot carry on. We have to put an end to it. And more people speak, more the better.
Yeah.
And it has to be, I have to speak up. Yeah. I can't keep quiet. It's not an option to keep quiet now. Yeah, it takes me courage to come in and speak, but I'm speaking. I've decided.
Yeah, good. Keep up your courage because we're all going to need it. I think the program will end probably, I'm going to say, I'll be hopeful by the end of this year. I don't think that they're going to get away with it
Yeah,
because I think there's a lot of lawsuits
yeah.
that
I
are
believe.
going to
I
take
believe
place.
like you. I believe so. Yeah, it cannot carry on because I've always, I've always feel good about helping people. I've done a lot of this kind of work in the past, like leave, travel to 56 countries, and I've lived and worked in 9. And I've seen a lot of compassion and a lot of respect. What is happening to the United Kingdom is so sad. Never thought it would be, because human right is a right. That I believe every single person is entitled to it. It doesn't matter what your background, what your color of your skin, what your religion, where you come from. Reach up. I believe it's your right. You have the right to your right. And all these things are illegal and we are not protected. And in fact, the people that supposed to be protecting us, these are the people, these are the one who are abusing.
That is
And
correct.
and I don't
And
think
it's a global
anybody
agenda.
deserves this. Nobody at all deserves this treatment. Yeah. And I noticed also
Yeah.
with the stalking, a lot of people are using their children, to do this horrible activity. And it's very sad, and it should not be happening. You know, you could hear in the background.
Yeah. The intimidation tactics, the police car intimidation tactics, that was a perfect example. Thank you, police officers in the UK, for giving us the show.
I have the show every day. It's kind of sometimes is like I'm just you have all the siren running around like headless chicken. And last week, when I come from a shopping trip, and one of them came like a maniac, you know, like you just heard, worse than that siren. And I thought he was going to climb the pavement and he was going to enter somebody's house. Really, really crazy. Yeah. Really, really, really sad. And I got all sorts of the other vehicles also that followed. And I have 5 hit and run. 5. Ethan. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, you definitely have to be careful when you've become a
yeah,
target because they will, try to
yeah,
take you
yeah.
out,
But I believe in
basically.
God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe every when I step out and I believe that's why I'm still going. It's like the grace of God. And nobody is
Yes.
stronger, better, or powerful than the Almighty. And I will keep going and don't do the devil.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. And you
I
have
agree
to
with you
keep
on
your
that one.
spirit. You have to keep your spirit no matter what is going, in pain, in whatever, you have to keep your spirit. Sometimes people ask, you know, how do you do it? My answer is always God is
Yes, yes, and we need him more now than ever
yes.
before. So then you noticed all of that. So now are you setting boundaries with these people? Like, what did you say to the security guard once he said, I'm just following orders? Did you say, shame on you? You shouldn't be, you coward?
I tell him to stop it, you know. I tell him to
Good.
stop it. You're not a
Yeah.
slave, It's like I believe slavery is abolished long time ago. And we have all kind of people doing this activity. We have the Asian, people from the subcontinent, Eastern European, Africa. In my area where I live, there's lots of Africans. It's very, they come
Mm-hmm.
here and
Yeah.
they've decided to do horrible activity, create pain on people for £20 because I believe they got paid £20 for each photo that they take. And how come you can bring your values so low? Yes, I just take care when I go out, obviously being aware, creating awareness around and in constant lookout. Some is challenging. Survival is the key. You have to go
Yes.
to the finishing line. Yeah, he has no
Yeah.
shame. He
I
has
agree.
no shame to tell me that he's following orders from his boss. He said part of his work. Yeah, that's what
Yeah, that's
it is.
disgraceful. What a disgrace.
And I even have people from my building, which is how do you call it, resident from my building. I live in a building for the over 60, which is one of the biggest mistake I've made. There's sometimes you made mistake in your lives. I thought I will have
Yeah.
in common. Some of them become stalkers. And when they come and stalk, they come on disability scooter. And I know, I've seen them walking on 2 feet. But then when they come doing the horrible act, they'll come on disability scooter and follow me. One day I was supposed to meet this lady, and then I told her obviously on the phone where I'm going to meet. And guess what? I went to the optician, and when I was sitting at the optician, there she come on a disability scooter, coming to look for. You know, it's very very
Yep.
sad. I can't believe it.
Yep. They'll always do a repetition just so that they're doing their sick and
Yeah.
twisted orders.
Yes, exactly. And then many times when I'm going into my building, first of all, I didn't understand. It's been such a massive learning because all these horrible thing I didn't know exist. And there will be cars, vehicles parked in front of my building. I never knew it was for me. And then there will be flashing lights. When I come, the light will be
Yep.
flashed. It was afterward when I start asking, investigate why, and then find out that's what they is to basically target apparently, when they flashing the light because you already have the
Yes.
thing in your doing it until it's horrendous.
Yeah.
It's horrendous experience. I wouldn't wish that any and it's a big
Yep.
I
Then
believe it's a big business. It's big, it's massive.
I
There's
do.
so many people involved from the supermarket to the security guard to wherever you to if you go to the optician, you go to even the church. Like I celebrate my mother's birthday anniversary. She's passed every year on the 30th of June. And last year I asked a friend to come with me to the church and I was stuck in the church. I couldn't even have.
What criminal? So it's interesting. My daughter passed away and her birthday was June 30th.
Oh, yeah, that was an anniversary of my mom, June 30th. It's
Wow.
sorry to hear about your daughter,
I'm sorry
but
to hear
God is
about your
great. God
mother.
is great. You are there for a purpose. You,
Yes. We are powerful and we are
yeah,
protected. And the more unity we get, the more powerful we
yes,
become. And then they won't be able to stop
yeah,
it.
and that's
Yeah.
why it's important not to keep quiet. And you can. I
Yeah.
started. I started speaking more to people now. Before I was like thinking
Hmm.
I'm protecting them. Now I'm speaking more, and I don't mind if they believe or they don't believe, but you're
Right.
saying it, telling them what's going on. And I think it's very difficult for some people to how do you call it, to access that, you know. So English is my third language. Sometimes I'm stuck on one word.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. You're very intelligent, which is also another part of being targeted, I believe. So I had a question
Yeah,
for you. Got put on neutral. So yes, I agree with you about talking to other people about it because people will ask me my story and then I will sit down and tell them. And I'll say, now the reason that I'm telling you this, because most of them are in awe, but I say, you could be next. Someone could not simply just not like you, or you could piss someone off and they'll put you on this
yeah.
list.
It could be, and it could be a member of your family. It could be somebody close to you. It could be a relative. It could be anybody, and it could be you, because some people don't think that far, you know, and they believe if it's not affecting them, it's okay. You know, it's like, they said there's 1 million targeted individual in the UK. Who said it's 1 billion?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and 300,000 only in London.
Yeah, it makes me sad, but hopefully, what were the websites that you first found that helped you walk through the process?
Can you? I didn't hear that question because it's become quite windy, and if you could mind repeat.
And what websites did you go onto or stumble across when you were researching being targeted?
Mm, To be honest with you, I've done quite a lot. I was just started with targeted individual, really. In fact, it was a young man who told me about it. This young man from Brazil who lives opposite my building, and
Hmm.
we used to sometimes we meet and talk. And then he told me about targeted individuals. And then he said to me, go and have a look, go on the website. So this is where I started. I started. And then when I and never thought that I will be one of you. And I could see the thing that was going on with the neighbor, this and this and that. Then I was, that's not normal. That's really horrible because he's a targeted individual. He is talking too much, So the police playing with him because he is not doing things the right. He's just calling them, and then they come to his house, and then they say they're going to arrest him. They're going to find him. They send up, how do you call it, community police how do you call it, harass
Harassed?
him and this kind of thing. This is how I
Yeah.
started. And then obviously it's like a trigger into it. It's like when you find something, if you're curious, I'm a very curious person. If somebody says something, I would like to know more and I would like to go deeper. I would like to see the bigger picture. So this is how it started. And the last 2 years, when I met this targeted individual who had lots of information, this is when it blew my mind with all the things that is going on. Sometimes I wake up and thinking, am I in a dream? Is that real? That it's real? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
unbelievable. It's crazy.
it is crazy. It almost feels like a nightmare. Not really a dream, but more of a
Yeah.
nightmare.
And I have lots of things going
Yes.
on, going back to my building. I have lots of things going on because they came into my flat. They ransacked it. They've still, because with all my travel around the world, I've brought a big container of things from around the world. from the
Yeah.
Philippines, from China, from everywhere. And then they've stolen a lot of my sentimental value, a lot of my jewelry. And then they scattered my place. They trash it. They cut my clothes. They, what else? They cut my clothes. They turned my thing upside down. I even had a hard drive that I have all my travel photos in. One of them has
Uh-huh.
that's gone, and they even craft my name in a black cloth and with the 6 letters and put it on the kitchen shelf. And they kill my plants. I love plants, especially orchids
Yep.
and all this. And I have a beautiful garden. They kill my plants indoor and outdoor. There's a balcony. They poison my plants. Basically, they're doing
Yep.
all the
I can.
things that
Yes.
is going to hurt you or to make you react. And then some of the neighbors, trying to harass and cause hatred, like follow me. And, when I'm going to the building, they will push me a lot. A lot is going. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's satanic. And yes. So I'm with you. I love plants. I love orchids. And for some reason where I'm at, I can't get anything to grow.
Oh,
I started growing some herbs and they popped up, but then when they knew that I wanted to grow those, they probably hit them with some directed
yeah,
energy,
yeah, I
radiation,
believe
whatever.
yes.
And so now nothing.
Yeah, it's sabotage, isn't it? Because they sabotage your life because you're happy, you love, and they want to cause chaos. They want to bring darkness into you, the toxic energy, to you.
Hmm.
So I believe that's why they do all these things. It's very sad. You have to keep going. Yeah, I will be going.
So is there a way that you can secure your place? Are they still getting into it?
Yes, I can't say what I'm going to do, but I've decided that, something has to be because
Yes.
trespassing is all the time. Even I have like a small room where I use it as store, and I have things in my
Yeah.
container in boxes that I've brought from the Philippines, from China, from all over, from Guatemala. I until today, because too much is so stress. It's too much. I don't know what they've taken, because each time I come, the box is empty or they move it around. The contents are getting low, so I don't know what they've taken. If also, I like to light candles, and they've all candle wax on my bed, and I have this lovely duvet that I brought from Kashmir in India, and then brand new um, silk, and they pour candle wax all over it, and they pour candle wax on the furniture, on the wooden furniture, and they basically turn everything upside down. My books, I have loads of books, so my books cut it out.
I'm so sorry. Like I am like teary-eyed because I want that stuff to happen to them. I know that sounds like, but it's like do unto others as you'd have done to you. So if you want someone to come into your house and spread wax all over your new stuff and stuff that you would enjoy, then judgment day is coming for
Yeah,
these
yeah,
people.
exactly.
And it's
And
coming.
also, I'm an author. I have 2 books published, and when I did my cookery book, and I have 50 printed. And the day I received, the next day, when I came home, it was in a big suitcase in the sitting room on the floor. And I could see that they have, and then when I opened the case, 29 of my books has gone. So I called the police. I called them to a report, and they said, this is not harassment. That's what I was told. And then suddenly they said the camera is not working. And basically they didn't even come back to look at the main camera after 1 month, after I've been constantly calling them. And then after 1 month, and then when they came in 1 month, they said they couldn't see anything.
Yeah, because they're part of it. The cops aren't there to help and
Yeah.
protect the way that they're supposed
And
to.
another time,
Yeah, because they work for the crown.
another time I called them for something else. They came and installed a smart meter in my apartment without my consent. And then when I called,
Yep.
they came, but they were not interested in my story, in my thing. In fact, they said they'll go down and speak to the concierge and then call me to nobody has come, but the meter is there. It's been installed, you know. And then when I called the next day to get a reference number, and I've been told the case hasn't been filed. It hasn't been filed. And then when I insist of knowing, and then the receptionist told me that there's no name. He hasn't even filed his name. You see how deep level we are. Very, very,
Yep.
and it's very
Yep.
dangerous, and it's very sad because there is a lot of vulnerable people out there who has to go through.
Yeah, I know. We've all been unfortunately tortured. I call it the trace, track, and torture program.
It's like a prison, really. It's like a prison without walls. 24 hours, 365 days in the year. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas, Sunday, Easter, New Year, whatever day it is. It's the same. You're going through this too.
Yeah, I think you need to get your place secured up. And I don't know if that kid from Brazil can help you or not, or do
No,
you have other people there?
it is very weak. I have to find the strong people, strong person. Some people
Yeah,
just don't
yeah,
know how to, they don't have the strength, the courage to, to do things.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it will be, working.
So is there anybody there that you can trust to help you?
Not in my building, but I have good people. I have people that I can trust. I can talk. Yeah. And I'm grateful for that. There are still
Okay, good.
there are a lot of good people in this world, and we should not allow them to tell us otherwise.
Correct. I agree with you. So I interviewed last week another woman from the UK. Her name was Antonia. And so, yeah, are you
Yeah, I know her and I follow her too.
good?
Yes. Amazing.
Good. Good.
Amazing. Very
She's a good contact. Yeah, you're both beautiful ladies, and so I'm grateful
Yeah,
that you're coming
because
on from a
the thing is, people here will not talk. They are so scared. Because what is the solution? Because do you sit down and wait to be killed, or you work towards finding the solution?
I like solution-based, problem solving. Yeah, solution-based problem solving is great.
Can you repeat that, please?
I said solution-based problem solving is great.
Yeah. And also one thing for me, I can speak for myself. I have good humor, good sense of humor. And sometimes I even laugh at my pain and my thought. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, it's very important to have the humor inside.
I agree 100% because without a sense of humor, you wouldn't get through
Oh,
it because sometimes you have to laugh at how sick
yeah.
these
I
people
think
are.
that's why a lot of people give, some people will take their lives because they can't, it's too much for them. They, and as a coach, I have people that contacted me and told me that's what they're going to, it's, I could see why, because it could be very overwhelming for people, especially if you don't have support. Yeah. And a lot of people are lonely. A lot of people live by themselves. And I note a lot of the targeted individuals are single people, especially single women. They say there are
Yep.
more women in the UK than, but this program, there's a lot of single women and obviously elder.
Yep. That seems to be a pattern for sure. I agree with you 100%. So can you tell people what your books are, what the names of your books are and where they can get your
Yeah,
books?
the first book I wrote was in 2013 after my trial, and basically I
Okay.
was inspired to do this book because of all the places I've been, like in the Philippines, in Guatemala, where the women supposedly to be poorer or whatever, but they are so amazing because they are so inspired and they more community. They take care of each other. And then when I came to the UK, I see the women like weak and thing, and I was inspired to do this motivational book, basically telling my story and my experience in different cultures, and basically probably about 13 countries where I've been, including Thailand. Short stories, let people, the way I've done it, let people find out their own message in the story. So the book is called Sharing Bananas. That's the, yeah.
Cute.
And the subtitle is As a Bunch, We Can Do.
I love it. Yeah, I love
Yes.
it.
And then it's on
It's true.
Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
And then the other book is a cookery book. And I love cooking. I love food and traveling. Obviously inspired me to enjoy the food of the world. But the way I've done it in for the country where I come from the Seychelles, and it's based on banana, and it's called The Secret Life of Banana.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and the subtitle is Peel to Read. You know, we are like bananas ourselves in that skin, and peel it,
Yes.
we see the shape, we see the fruit. But same like people, when we meet people, we judge about what we see, how it looks, until we take time to know the person, to discover the substance, the inner of the person itself, the outer of the person. So we need to peel it to read.
That's
And I'm
beautiful.
working on a new one
I
right
love
now.
that.
I'm working on a vegan book right now. It's I've been vegan for 32 years.
That's awesome. I can't wait to look at these books. I'm inspired by you and I'm proud of you for writing because writing helps reduce the trauma that's caused by the program. And so I want you to keep doing
It's not
that
easy
because it's,
because if you don't take upon yourself to basically, how do you call it, find the inspiration inside you, you will
yeah,
fall, you will crush. And that's what they want. And there are days it's very challenging. I was a very active person and now my life has changed. You know, I used to go dancing. I used to go to theater. I used to basically go to training, to seminar, to social events. You know, now you have to, you know, to feel yourself in a different category where you cannot be, you know, you cannot do what you used to do. But at the same time, I'm still doing it. I'm still going, you know. So I think,
yeah, you do have to change your life up because when you realize what's happening and these people are gang stalking you, torturing you, harassing you, you do a lot of things that you used to do and used to enjoy, but you don't want to put yourself in a vulnerable
yeah,
position to let them continue to do what they're
especially at
going
night,
to do. You have to remove.
especially at night, you know, you have to be careful. Yeah. And because you get stuck on the train, on the bus, going to the park, whatever you do, those people are there harassing you, tormenting you, terrorizing you, you know. It's kind of like, but God is good.
God is
God.
great. And judgment day is coming for these people. Mark my words, and it's coming soon.
Yeah, it will. I believe that. I agree with you. I believe it too. I feel, yeah, it cannot go. Yeah, it cannot.
Well, Gesmay, thank you for sharing your story with us. Is there one piece of advice that you could give to people who are just discovering that they've been targeted?
Yeah, advice. Yeah, it's basically people just needs um to be careful, to keep talking to people, you know, keep telling to people, tell them your story. Either they believe you, they don't believe. Keep saying it. One thing is getting more of you. Do not allow the police to come into your house. I've learned that the hard way
Yep.
because they're not for
Yep.
you. They're not of your interest. In fact, it's the opposite to what you think. So, and don't stay in isolation. Try and not stay in isolation. Try. And even to people, a lot of people tell people it happens to me. When I tell people what is happening, what is going on, they they don't be, they can't believe you. they don't know how to, and they will tell you, oh, what did you do? You know, what's happened? And I tell people, when people tell what is going on, please listen to them. You know, either you believe them, you don't believe them. Don't just discard. It's real. It's real. What is going on is very, very real. Listen to people and
Yes.
give a word of encouragement, or just give your ears.
I love that advice. It's great. I learned the hard way about letting the cops into my house, my condominium. And if I could go back and change one thing, that's what it would be, is I wouldn't let the cops
Yeah.
in.
If I know, what I know now, I would never done it. I would never allow it. This is it. It's a process that you learn along the way, as long as you're open to learn. And yeah, you could do things differently. That's the way.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. Again, well, when we hit critical mass and when we hit critical mass, which I feel like we're almost there, we will be the anchor for the people, in the second or third run of this program. And I think that we're the anchors for a
Yes,
reason. So
I
basically
totally
chosen,
believe that.
yeah.
I totally believe that. I believe, it's like I used to coach this guy, and he used to tell me his story is a targeted. At that time, I didn't know. And then when I told him, I said, "You've been chosen. You've been chosen for a reason." And then he said to me, "When you were saying that, I was thinking, what are you talking?" And afterward, he came back to me. He said, "Do you know something? I've been chosen. Yeah, I've been chosen," because he now talk a lot about God, and he talked to people, because a lot of people is has cut themselves away from, from God. So that's his
Yeah.
mission. Yeah, now we believe he's been chosen. Yeah, for a reason.
I love that. I love that. Well, Gesmay, thank you again for having the courage to share your story. And as always, stay strong. We've got this.
Thank you. Keep up with the good work. You're doing amazing good work.
Thank
We
you
need
so
more people
much.
like yeah.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate
Thank
you.
have
Thank you for listening to the Unveiling Shadows podcast. I hope today's episode has shed light on the experiences that too often remain hidden. If you or someone you know has a story to share, please reach out to me. Remember, you're not alone and your voice matters. Follow me on social media and subscribe to the podcast for more inspiring stories. Until next time, stay strong and keep unveiling the shadows.